Kevin Skerrett passed a late fitness test. He was in only one of the 4 test matches last season, but he is in the frame to take on the Aussies beginning at Wembley in the John Smith Test Series on October the 22nd. Shaun Edwards, the incomparable Shaun Edwards, the Wigan halfback, another of the Wigan 11 who will be in that Test Series. And I rather fancy that Gary Connolly will be in the Great Britain jersey also. Connolly has missed just 1 game since his debut last September here at Central Park against Widnes. Quick recap on the Wigan team: Aitchison, Robinson, Tuigamala, Connolly, Offiah, Paul and Edwards the skipper. Up front, Skerrett, Hall, O'Connor, Betts, Farrell and Clark. And on the bench, Mick Cassidy, who is in the Great Britain squad, Barry McDermott, and the coach, of course, is Graham West. Paul Aitchison, the Wigan fullback, an academy and under-21 international. It won't be long before he is knocking on the door of the full Test team as well. And Leeds greeted onto Central Park by a big contingent who followed them from Headingley. Tonight, in many ways, Leeds' moment of truth. 3 wins from 3 matches. This is the one that Ellery Hanley knows they must win. Hanley, the skipper of Wigan in the championship days. Three championships Hanley won. And George Mann, playing in the unaccustomed role of hooker tonight. Not his first time in the number 9 jersey. He occupied that role for St Helens in his career at Knowsley Road. So Leeds have Holroyd at fullback, Tate, Iro, Innes and Cummins. It's Schofield and Onta, the halfback combination. Up front for Milo, Mann and Howard, Mercer, Ayres and Hanley the captain. And on the bench, Gary Rose, cleared by the disciplinary committee to appear tonight, and Neil Harmon, and Doug Lawton, of course, the coach, the man who was the last coach to deny Wigan the championship when he was at Widnes. Alan Tate with a big blob of Vaseline on the back of his head by the looks of things, next to little Patrick Onta. That no doubt is a war wound from last week at Doncaster when he crashed frighteningly into that concrete post. But little Napoleon, Patrick Onta, a Premiership winner with Hull, and he has returned to the British game from the south of France for matches and occasions like this. The match referee is 30-year-old Russell Smith from Castleford, had control of the 1993 Challenge Cup final. He's also refereed in New Zealand and in France. So they come no bigger than this. It's the Stones Bidder Championship, right from the top of the table. Wigan second, Leeds fourth, and it's Central Park that hosts what should be a classic encounter. It's going to be Henry Paul who will get this match underway. The Kiwi standoff half deputising for the injured Frano Botica, and away we go. And immediately Leeds, in the shape of Holroyd, pump the ball downfield. They want to play Wigan in their own half. Aitchison lets the ball roll, then picks up. He's met by a wall of Leeds chasers, and Holroyd with a deep kick downfield. Surprising and interesting tactics, Steve-O.
Good tactics there, but that was an elbow. An early shot in this game. We knew it was going to be tough. Second rower, Gary Mercer, look at that. Swinging through, it was Harvey Howard that actually threw the punch. Mercer went through with the shoulder. The man who's just been a shock selection in the Great Britain squad gets a lecture from Russell Smith. Well, I was just about to say that it was good tactics from Graham Holroyd and Leeds to boot the ball way downfield. But they've thrown it all away by a silly head-eye tackle there from Howard.
And that means that Andrew Farrell's penalty in the opening minute here takes Wigan deep into Leeds territory. And it's Terry O'Connor. And the referee has given another penalty. This time Leeds are all offside. Alan Tate confused and chunnering to the referee.
Well, they take their mark for these taps from the touch judge. You can see quite clearly they'd moved up very quickly. And rightly so, Russell Smith giving the penalty. It's an unusual one. We do not see that often. They usually allow the advantage, Wigan having that advantage with a quick tap. It's easy means business, doesn't he, Russell Smith?
Well, he's aiming to stamp his authority on this match early, and that's exactly what he's done with 2 early penalties here in the opening 2 minutes, both to Wigan. So it's going to be Henry Paul who's taken over the goal-kicking duties for Wigan from the injured Frano Botica. And he's not got Botica's eye just yet. On another day, with Botica in 6, Steve-O, Wigan would be 2 up.
Botica would have put that over with his slippers on. Perhaps a bit of nerves coming into the youngster Henry Paul. But it's important that Leeds really get their defence solid and not give away silly mistakes, silly penalties.
All Wigan then, the opening 2 minutes here, and Aitchison with that drive upfield. Onta and Richiers in for the tackling. Hall, the dummy half. Here's Skerrett, driving Wigan up to the halfway line, drawing applause from the crowd. He wants to get up and get on with it quickly. That's Dennis Betts. A new shorter cropped hairstyle. Here's Edwards, dances away from Onta, gets the ball away to Skerrett once more, and Skerrett is wrestled to the ground. It's going to be uncompromising, this one.
Good play by the Frenchman Patrick Onta, put a lot of pressure on Sean Edwards. Leeds know they've got to put him out of the game.
That's a blunder by Iro, and another one by Holroyd. It's play on. Twigamana got to that first, and that was a blunder by Iro. He dropped it first. Hanley hacking at the ball as the ball was taken. It's back to 6, of course, for Wigan. So huge pressure here on Leeds. Hanley lying all over the grounded Betts. Hall finds Skerrett. Skerrett drives towards the line, 10 metres short.
You can see the experience of Ellery Hanley there, wanting to give away that penalty on purpose. Perhaps give away the 2 rather than risk the 6.
Clark drops it. Hanley picks up the pieces, and then it's dumped to the floor.
Leeds walking on thin ice.
You simply can't make mistakes like this against Wigan.
But you can see that it was Cummings that threw the right arm, no doubt in my book, but it wasn't seen by the referee or the touch judge. These youngsters learn quickly, don't they?
Penalty, meanwhile, to Leeds. Wigan, as you can see, straying upfield in the shape of Dennis Betts, all offside.
Well, a stop-start affair, and perhaps this is good for the referee, especially when it started with a high tackle from Harvey Howard.
Onta is the dummy half. This is Howard. Good tackling by the Wigan 3. Pushing Howard back. Onta, Schofield. Good ball to Mercer, but Dennis Betts stood his ground.
That's what it's all about, reading the videos. You could see that Betts had read that move. He knew he was coming back on the inside, and it was crunch time.
That's a great drive by Richiers, though, for Leeds. Tate is the dummy half. It's now with Schofield. Here's Mercer. Mercer looks wide and finds Innes. Innes tries to go round Twigamana and does so. Tosses the ball back inside. Not the best tactic, but the referee has consulted the touch judge. It's a knock-on.
Innes tried to throw the dummy there, and you can see Twigamala's arm went round. That is a knock-on. If that was a knock-on, then it should have been offside. Phil Clark was stood in front of him. It shouldn't be a scrum down in my book. There you see the ball shift through. Clark comes from an offside position, and as far as I'm concerned, that's offside.
Yes, that should have been a penalty. But he ruled the knock-on rather than the fact that the arm came across perhaps to knock the ball out of the man's grasp. So it could have been a penalty for deliberately knocking the ball out. As it is, Russell Smith gave the scrum, and it's Leeds who are in possession. Here's Farmilo. Crackling atmosphere at Central Park. 6 minutes gone, 0-0. Onta looking to spread the ball wide to Schofield. Schofield trapped really then. Everyone had overrun him. Hanley at dummy half. Hanley had such glorious days here. That bounces off the legs of Skerrett, and Skerrett picks up the pieces.
Not only that, got the foot to it, but he put his body on the line. Excellent play. You could see him putting his body between the would-be tackler.
Here's Connolly. That's a good tackle from Iro. Another former Wiganer, of course. Tate was in pretty late with the knees.
Whatever happened to the flop? That one really was late from Alan Tate.
Terry O'Connor trying to struggle to his feet. Gets the penalty from Russell Smith. Edwards takes it very quickly.
Good thinking by Edwards. He knows he wants to get on with the game. For Milo, the culprit, just a little push there, but you can see O'Connor working and milking it to the best advantage.
Farrell with that drive, met head-on by Alan Tate. Hall is the dummy half. Here's O'Connor once more. The man brought to Central Park from Salford this season. Martin Hall at dummy half. Sean Edwards spreading it wide to Henry Paul. Lovely long ball to Wigamala. Outside him is Aitchison. Robinson screaming for it. Robinson in. Early try, Wigan. Delight from Robinson. And Wigan, Quicksilver attack.
Quick play, the ball around the line. Beautiful play by Edwards. Good run there, dummy from Henry Paul. You can see Twigger-Myler, there was nothing that Craig Innes could do. Beautiful pass out wide, and look how he went low before the game. There was no way that was going to stop him. Notice Henry Paul, he runs the angle, uses the dummy running. They hang off him, but this is a bad mistake from Innes. You could see how he moved up quickly. It was beautiful play by the fullback Aitchison. And look at that man gliding for a great try. Wigan at its best, using the dummy runner. Look at him come through. Innes had gone. Schofield had come very early. They were at 6s and 7s, and this man doesn't miss.
His fourth of the season already for Jason Robinson. Henry Paul, who had a hand in that move, now with the conversion attempt from the touchline, misses with his second kick for Wigan tonight, but it's Wigan 4, Leeds 0.
Look how the Leeds players come right the way to Henry Paul. The ball's going out way. And that's how the gap was produced. Once Innes had been stepped around by Twigger-Myler, the big man really showed skill there, didn't he? Fullback Aitchison feeds Robinson.
So Wigan ahead 4-0 and Twigger-Myler ahead 1-0 in his personal battle with Craig Innes. First blood Leeds then, Wigan then, 4-0. Not the best pass in their own quarter. Leeds applying the pressure. Robinson, try score a dummy half. Saw the half gap, went for it. Tried to brush away from Hanley, couldn't get away from Tate. And Ilo was in there too. Penalty Wigan. Referee is very quick to penalise, and Wigan very quick to get on with it.
Little doubt. Leeds skipper all over the top, trying to slow things down. He knows that Leeds on the back pedal. But you notice how quick Edwards got that penalty away. They want to get on with it, Wigan.
Here's Henry Paul. There's Twigger-Myler. Aitchison and Robinson there. Twigger-Myler on his own, off the knees of Connolly. Schofield clears the danger for Leeds.
Well, Twigger-Myler really did show some speed off the mark there, didn't he, for such a big man. Perhaps took the wrong option trying to get it away, and these players must soon realise this guy, the referee Russell Smith, won't have it. It was pretty late there from Betts. Innocuous attempt with the knees, but it was enough for the referee to give away the penalty. Nerves are jangling.
10.5 minutes gone. 4-0 Wigan. Wigan averaging 8 tries a game so far. Leeds fourth in the table. 100% with Wigan, leaders Bradford and Castleford. Penalties, big penalty count in the opening 11 minutes. 4-2 to Wigan. Schofield, not the best ball. Mercer was immediately under pressure, and Skerrett has picked it up for Wigan.
Pretty flat attack there from Leeds. You could see Mercer wasn't running under the ball. He was virtually stood still. The impact just lodged the ball clear.
Mercer and Ayres spoiling at the play the ball as Farrell got to his feet. This is Connolly. Leeds desperate not to give Wigan the early advantage. They've conceded one try. The dab forward was from Edwards and Holroyd was brave.
Planned move there from Wigan. You could see a fire had drifted in from the left wing. Edwards, little grubber kick through, but well played by Holroyd. You could see a fire just came a little bit too late. Well read though by the youngster.
So much at stake so early in the season. Hanley, he also was impeded as he tried to get to his feet by Dennis Betts. Mercer is tackled by Connolly. On tap the dummy half to Howard. Good tackling Wigan, dumping Howard to the floor. It was Betts and it was O'Connor in second man. On tap, Schofield took his eye off it. Presented it as a gift to Skerritt.
Nightmare there for Gary Schofield. He knew what he wanted to do, but you've got to keep possession first. Quite clearly took his eyes off the football, was looking into the area where he wanted to kick.
Edwards finds Betts. Betts is hit by Iro and Familo. A fire at dummy half. Edwards, long pass from him to Henry Paul. He's caught high by George Mann.
There you can see it. Trying to drop his hand just at the last minute. Flat of the hand, thankfully, for Henry Paul. When you get a guy like this stepping, swinging out from George Mann, he didn't miss him. Neither did the referee, Russell Smith. This should be a gift, 2 points. Well, will we see the yellow card? I'm still screaming for these referees to start using the sin bin. Makes me wild to think for a professional foul they can send someone for 10 minutes, try to knock a bloke's head off. All he does is get a little lecture.
I think the referee, Steve-O, would tell you that if they take any action in situations like this, the card must be red. Now, should that have been a sending off offence?
We did it nearly all the way through last season. You can't just chip and change. Look at this. Swinging straight through, aiming for above the shoulders. Quite simple. 10 minutes, it soon gets a message across. It gets a message across a lot quicker than a referee saying, naughty, naughty little boy.
So that's what the referees say. 14 minutes gone. Penalty bang in front of the sticks. Henry Paul finds the mark this time. The man who was fouled takes the 2. Wigan 6, Leeds 0. Leeds, Steve-O, must not allow Wigan a 12 or 14 point advantage. And George Mann knows he's given 2 points away there that he might really have done without.
Well, they've given away silly penalties, haven't they, Leeds? I think Leeds are a little bit shocked. They anticipated a pretty rough encounter in the forwards. I think most people did. But Wigan are very keen to play the ball quickly, not use the forwards more than the first 2 tackles, and then get the ball out wide.
Doug Lawton looking on anxiously from the dugout here at Wigan as his team chase this 6-point deficit. Quarter of an hour gone or thereabouts. Betts gets to his feet. Hall is the dummy half. Edwards, Clark. Good tackle. Howard, crunch. He was stopped. And then Howard came in and put him to ground. Hall, Edwards, Paul. Tuigamala started like a house on fire. Here he goes again. Robinson hacks the ball forward. Holroyd read it well. That was classy fullback play from 18-year-old Holroyd.
Sure was, but also classy football from Tuigamala. Really has started with a real bang.
Looks determined, doesn't he?
Been a lot of speculation in the press that Tuigamala wouldn't be able to handle Kevin Iro and the other New Zealander Craig Innes. Well, the boot is on the other foot now.
It is at the moment. Schofield to Mercer. Mercer trying to get away from the fire and does, then slips on the greasy turf. And Wigan, in the shape of Connolly and a fire, trying to barrel the big Kiwi into touch. Here's Holroyd, left-footed kick, it's a high one. Hanley is offside, he'll have to allow Aitchison, a bit of latitude, but Holroyd following up his own kick. They're all onside, but it was on the last tackle so it's the turnover. That was good play from Holroyd.
Brilliant play, put everybody onside, and Wigan just hung around. They didn't anticipate the youngster coming from full back.
The rule is if the man follows the kick downfield and collects it, everyone is onside. And Leeds were all onside then, despite the fact that when he took the kick, Hanley was about 30 metres ahead of him. Well done to Holroyd. Wigan in possession with Hall. Here's Betts and now Skerrett on halfway. Big collision with Mercer, finished off by Onta.
Once again, we see the Wigan forwards not interested in taking it down the middle. They want to skirt wide of the ruck. Then you get Shaun Edwards calling the shots. Here he is now.
It's with Edwards. A high kick from Edwards. Paul's after it. He's onside. Referee says play on. Ball bounces off Clark. Clark inside. Can they get to it first? The referee will blow the whistle and bring them back for the knock-on. Twigamala was sniffing for the try there, but well done on tap.
Well, it took an age for the Leeds defence to get through there. That man, Phil Clark, just buzzes around. Talk about second effort. Twigamala, jeez. Isn't he fired up?
Lots of talk, Steve-O, about Ellery Hanley perhaps making a comeback in the international arena, and some say at the expense of Phil Clark. The British coach himself says no chance. And Clark tonight looks to me to be out to prove a point.
I say no chance. Not saying that I'll be proved right, though.
That's a good run from Harvey Howard.
That's better play. That's what the forwards from Leeds need to do. Really get into it. This is better stuff.
Richie Ayres, it's a good break. But Edwards was there and so too was Connolly. That's the last one for Leeds. It's a penalty, Leeds.
Shaun Edwards caught there, trying to kid the referee. Connolly involved, and you can see Shaun Edwards was very late, couldn't get out of the way. Richard Ayres milking the penalty.
I'd like to know, Steve, how many of those 8 penalties that we've seen so far have been for that offence of holding down. That's the professional foul.
That's a professional game. That's what the coaches teach them. It's up to the referees to uncoach it.
Onta to Farmilo. Leeds in the Wigan quarter. Not been there too often tonight so far. They're there now, but that was indecision and confusion, but they got away with it because it bounced off Onta's chest. And Mercer will have that. And the ball went backwards. Should that be 6 to go?
Well, this was a planned move. They used a prop forward, Harvey Howard, to bring the ball back. Onta got in the way. Total confusion.
It isn't 6 to go. The referee keeps the tackle count running. It's with Schofield and now with George Mann. Good play from Mann, strength. And Wigan stuck to the task well in the shape of Edwards. Here's Schofield, Leeds attacking. Oh, that was a short ball met for Ayres. It went behind him. The referee wants them back. He's given the knock on. Well, Wigan were ready to snap up the other end with the attack. Who's got head and feed? Leeds have.
It would have to be. Schofield held up the ball. You could see that it was Martin Hall that got the fingertips there. Nice pick-up on the half volley from Henry Paul. Nice pass, but to no avail.
Midway through this first half, Leeds then with a chance to strike back. With Schofield, short ball to Iro. Great tackle from Connolly. Copybook stuff. And that wasn't copybook. That's another professional foul. That's the one that holds Leeds up again.
Rightly so from referee Russell Smith. You could see Connolly, just a little trip there. They want to get on with the game. Wigan are past masters at getting up and playing the ball very quickly. And it appears they're pretty good at doing the opposition a disservice. But is that not a professional foul in a good attacking position, which we have seen for several years, where referees pull out the yellow card?
Holroyd will try and make Wigan pay with this penalty. Now he's not got the range in. Not got his sights set yet. Graham Holroyd. 2 points go a-begging. It stays at 6-0 Wigan. Leeds last won at Central Park in 1991. November of that year, 19-0 here on Sky. Their last visit to Central Park, though, was for that semi-final against St Helens, when they won their way to Wembley. That ball went backwards, says referee Russell Smith. Hanley is allowed to play on.
But what a great dropout from underneath the post from the big fellow, Andrew Farrell. 75 metres. Gee, that takes a lot of pressure off your forwards.
Onta dummy half again to Mercer. Wigan moving up so quickly in a straight line. For Milo. Good tackling, Clark. Onta. Schofield. Here's George Mann, who makes a mess of it. The foot in there from Farrell. Soccer skills from Andy Farrell. He's being chased by Schofield. Alan Tate hammers it dead. Leeds are contributing to their own downfall, I'm afraid.
Basic mistake. George Mann taking the eyes off the football. You can see them struggling for it. The rule states that when you're running for the same angle, for the same football, you can use your shoulder. That's all. There was a little bit more than that between them. Tate to the rescue. They're on the rack of Leeds.
That's a good drop out from underneath there. Post by Leeds too. Into the Wigan half of the field. He's a fire. 7 tries already this season for a fire. 4 last week against Oldham. Robinson. Dancing little run from Jason Robinson. His 75th game for Wigan tonight. Handling errors, level pegging. Clark. Driving run. Hall. And Skerritt drops it.
Skerritt not happy.
Error.
Well, he took his eyes off the football there. You can see he was looking at the oncoming traffic. Richie Ayres eyeballed him. Result. See on the head-eye shot there. Head-on shot, should I say. Just looked at the would-be tackler.
Leeds just can't get going at the moment. They are being pummeled by this Wigan defence. Maybe they will now with Familo. Connolly, Betts and O'Connor coming in. Possession. Wigan just so far. Mann gets the ball away to Hanley. Chances here for Leeds now. O'Connor's all over him. The trial must go low on Hanley, and Connolly does exactly that. Holroyd, Schofield, another long ball. Iro, this fellow's danger. This fellow's dangerous. Lovely ball over the top. Cummins, thundering challenge on Cummins.
Martin Hall came in like an express train there. There's been some great crunch tackles. But that's the key to Leeds' success. They've got to get the ball out wide. I'm not so sure that the ploy of bringing George Mann into the hooking role has gone with them.
Aitchison has dropped that ball in the tackle. Here's a golden opportunity now for Leeds. Schofield to Mann. Mann keeps the ball alive. This is Innes. Quarter of an hour of the first half left.
This is where Leeds need a good link. The trouble is, halfback is one of the halfbacks there. Onta is the man that normally links in with Schofield. That means they've got to bring Graham Holroyd in to get things moving with Schofield.
There's Schofield. There's Mercer. Great defence from Wigan again. Every time the Leeds player gets to the ball, it seems that they are surrounded by Wigan players. Onta ducking under the challenge though, gets it away to Hanley. Bit of space here, but Hanley can't get away from Clark, and he can't get away from Farrell.
It was always going to be a great contest between Hanley and Clark. Clark watched him like an eagle.
Lovely dab through by Holroyd. Ball bounces kindly for Aitchison though. Good chase by Leeds just the same.
Nice option there from the youngster Holroyd, but it was read well, wasn't it, by Aitchison? That was a big crunch. Oh, Hanley. Robinson felt that one.
Oh, he was late. Well, that should have been a penalty. Now it is. This time Leeds offside.
Belated, perhaps. Same result. Different infringement. Miles offside.
The pace of this game. Wigan just tapped that penalty and ran it from deep inside their own half. Here's Farrell.
It was always going to be a fast and furious game, Eddie. This is the cream of British talent on view tonight.
It's rough. It's tough. Russell Smith patrolling the play the ball. Leeds just creeping up, as all teams do in that situation. And Iro dumps Henry Paul to the ground. Here's Dennis Betts, gets it away to a fire to Edwards, takes the return, straightens up, dabs it forward, Iro wrestles him to the ground, it'll be penalty Wigan, and Iro is going to the bin.
Whoopsie-doozy, here it comes. Little doubt, Kevin Iro threw the man to the ground when the ball had been kicked through. Well, it looked as though he was going into the back pocket. What's happening?
He has got in the back pocket. He's produced the yellow card, but Iro is on the field.
Well, he definitely put his hand, maybe he was after the hanky.
Yeah, no, the referee spotted him and he goes back to the pocket again, and just to confirm, the referee wants Iro to come to him. There's the yellow card, he says. You're off the field for the professional foul. And Iro does not believe it. It's been one of the more innocuous professional fouls, but a professional foul nonetheless.
Took a while. There you see it.
Well, was he committed though, Steve?
Well, 50-50. Either way, there's a few got away with worse, I can tell you, in this game.
Leeds are making a change or two, Bill.
Well, they have Neil Harmon ready to come on, and it looks as though the number 10 board is out, so that would mean Harvey Howard coming off. As yet, though, that change hasn't been made, and of course Leeds down to 12 men with Kevin Iro off the pitch.
Maybe just time for a little check of the thought by Doug Lawton. Here's Connolly. Leeds have it all to do then up to half-time, with Iro off the field and in the bin. Hall on his own from dummy half. The ball found O'Connor. O'Connor pumps the legs, tries to keep going. Hanley's round his shoulders, Onta is round his ankles. They're 15 metres short of the line are Wigan with Edwards. He misses out to Igamalu and finds Connolly. Connolly stepping, trying to get round Mercer. This is the last one for Wigan. Edwards dabs it through. Is Clark onside? Doesn't matter, it was good defending from Leeds.
Clark held back there, good refereeing by Russell Smith. He deemed that he was offside.
It was Cummins who came in off the wing.
Read it well, didn't it? Well, it was 50-50, but the referee was screaming at Clark. Didn't commit himself there. Good defence, though. Nice little kick through from Sean Edwards.
Great tackle to Igamalu on Mercer. Onta. Ooh, a poor ball. Bad ball. He drops it. Oh, and Connolly trying to get the ball out wide to a fire. Only finds Schofield, who dropped it.
Well, a comedy of errors there. Onta should never have passed to Ayres. Connolly should never have passed, and now he's lost it again.
It's Wigan then in possession with Hall. That is the Leeds try line. A fire's there. Long ball from him. Good defence. Great chase that by Innes. Oh, and what on earth was the Wigan man doing then? Onta says the ball was stolen from him, and the referee says it was.
Penalty there, but good play by the Frenchman, Patrick Onta. Nobody there. Farrell went berserk. Quick to play the ball. Young Great Britain second rower Andrew Farrell says, come on.
Penalty for Leeds then, it finds touch. And Leeds down to 12 men, remember. Iro in the sin bin. About 7 or 8 minutes left of that penalty for Iro. Leeds in possession. They will be anxious just to play out time. If they could grab a try, what a bonus that would be. Mercer. Fast. Furious, isn't it? Ayres with the run. Connolly wrestling into the ground, trying to run them into touch. Play on. Schofield. Onta. Tate. Innes. Great tackle, Clark. Good attack, Leeds. The Wigan defence was up to the mark. Innes is hurt.
Twisting the tackle from Phil Clark. Kiwi Craig Innes felt that one. But what a great run from Richie Ayres.
Play on. Despite the fact that the man tackled is down. High kick from Holroyd. Connolly's underneath it, safe and sound. Well, the 32 minutes of this match so far has gone flashing by.
Tackle on Innes there, you can see how it just spins him round the one leg. That usually brings about a problem in the groin area. Knee or groin can easily be injured when one leg is tackled.
Here's the penalty for Wigan, by the way. They're all offside, Leeds. And so Wigan back in possession, 10 metres inside the Leeds half. Very much a damage limitation exercise here at the moment for Leeds. With one man in the sin bin and this pace unrelenting. Here's Tuigamala. Tuigamala picks up his speed, finds a fire, and a fire is clattered to the ground by Mercer.
Great tackle from Mercer.
Skerrett needing attention. This is Clark. Unloads the ball well to Hall. Hall saw a little gap, it was quickly closed. Tate and Schofield working overtime in defence. Betts on his own from dummy half. Dennis Betts hauled back again by this Leeds defence. Kelvin Skerrett coming off. He will have to be replaced. Meanwhile, it's Edwards. Long ball from Edwards. They've got a man out wide on the overlap. Aitchison is there, but Farrell elected to take it on his own. Aitchison and Robinson were there screaming for the ball to go out wide. Connolly now. Edwards. Just delaying it, then finding Aitchison. Aitchison, that's going to be 6 to go. Wigan might need them. Farrell with a strength. He dropped it. He dropped that ball. It's no try. No doubt that Farrell dropped that.
He had the strength, but Cummins did well there. Pretty hard to see on that one. Reaches out. Well, I've seen them given.
I was going to say my instant reaction was that was a drop ball, but I'm not so sure now.
Fingertip control, but full credit to Russell Smith. He was in a great position. But Leeds will be very happy to go in at the half-time break, surely. Only 6 points down.
Leeds got a penalty there, by the way, for the dissent by the Wigan players to that decision from Russell Smith. Back-chatting the referee. Here's Little Napoleon. Patrick Onta scragged to the floor, and by the looks of things, Terry O'Connor has been injured. McDermott, meanwhile, is on for Wigan. It's a little untidy. There are players on the floor. Meanwhile, Edwards with a fire outside him. A fire must score! And a fire does score! Try number 8 of the season. Did he drop it? Referee says not this time. The 4-point stands.
Bad mistake from Gary Schofield. The ball comes loose. And the man who loves to poach, look how he runs out to the blind side. You can see that there's only one man there. Tate had no chance. Hesitated at the right time. The momentum takes him over. Look at that. It hasn't been the best 40 minutes. First half for Gary Schofield. That's a second bad mistake. But look at Edwards making them pay on the blind side. Tate says, what am I going to do here? He knows that the world's fastest winger is away. Momentum is a try. Any downward pressure
So a Fire's try number 8 of the season. Henry Paul with another difficult conversion attempt. This one's got a chance. It just shaves the woodwork. The gap is 10 points then.
You can see how Edwards realises there's only one man there, Tate, and that's why he takes that option. That's all about reading the game. And Tate, he does not know what to do. Super delayed pass. The speed did the rest.
So Martin of Fire, he has a remarkable try-scoring record in his career. That's 284 tries. This is his 237th game. Bill Arthur has got news of substitutions being made all over the place.
They're happening thick and fast. Earlier on, Kelvin Skerritt came off, and it looks like a worrying knock to the eye sockets. The doctor has examined him. Skerritt was replaced by Barry McDermott just before Wigan scored that try. Since then, Mick Cassidy has come on and replaced Terry O'Connor. Cassidy known as the super sub. Leeds have made a change as well. 15, Neil Harmon, just in action there, has come on, and he's replaced Harvey Howard.
And Kevin Iro has returned to the fray too for Leeds.
Knock on there by Clark when he tried to play the ball. Martin Hall, the hooker, tried his best to get the ball away, but the touch judge saw it, helped the referee Russell Smith.
Just confirming the substitutions for you. Cassidy on for Wigan. Iro, here he is, back out of the sin bin, and he's got his breath back by the looks of things. No lack of strength there. Twigamala and Cassidy, the men who bring him down. Onta to... Oh, that was a high tackle.
McDermott swinging there, could have been penalised.
And it was on Gary Rose. Schofield dabbed the ball forward. He was impeded as he tried to chase that, and he looks disgustedly at the referee.
Well, you could see there Farrell had gone straight into him. If he stood still, there's nothing you can do about it. Referee can't penalise you for obstruction, but it looked like Farrell had moved towards Schofield in my book. Leeds should have got a penalty.
Robinson gets the ball away to Dennis Betts. He has got Henry Paul with him. Henry Paul, who was our guest in the studio just 7 days ago. He's opened up Leeds here for Connolly. Connolly not the best kick forward for Edwards, but Connolly following up makes the tackle on Holroyd.
Beautiful play by Henry Paul, nice step inside. The kick wasn't strong enough. Oh, nightmare stuff for Leeds in their own quarter. Dougie Lawton must be pulling his hair out. Deary me.
George Mann, the culprit, the New Zealand international. Strangely enough, George Mann's last game for his former club St Helens was right here at Central Park in the Premiership semi-final defeat last season. Wigan trying to end this first half in a flourish. On the attack here with Edwards, long ball out to Aitchison. A Fire strolls in. It's so easy. What a record for the try-scorer supreme. Now, has the referee awarded the try? I'm almost sure he has.
Bit of Haji-Baji went on in the background. Stops the clock, listens to the touch judge, but I'm sure that the try will be allowed.
The Fire, I think, has just checked with the touch judge whether the try has been given, and the touch judge has nodded his head. Just what Leeds didn't want this.
Super play. It was Clark that made the run from the scrum base. Look at that superb pass from Edwards. Ball out wide. This is sheer class. Look at that. Two men just in no man's land. Fullback Aitchison feeds the Fire for number 2. But that all came about from a good run from the base of the scrum by Phil Clark.
9 tries already this season for Martin of Fire, the leading try scorer in the game. Mind you, these Wigan players are not making it easy for Henry Paul and his conversion attempts, are they? No, doesn't find the mark either. 14 points to nil, Wigan lead. And we're in stoppage time in this first half. Just what Leeds didn't want, conceding 2 late tries. They seem to have weathered the storm as well, with Iro in the sin bin.
2 bad mistakes in their own quarter. Knock-on from Gary Schofield and knock-on from George Mann. They paid the price.
Well, there's the half-time siren, and Jason Robinson got Wigan off to a flying start with their try early on. It was 6-0 after a Henry Paul penalty, and then in stepped the man on the other side of the field, Martin Offiah. 2 tries for him. 2 in 5 minutes for Offiah, and 2 in 5 minutes for Wigan. Of Wigan, well, they have certainly run the show in that first half. It's just been pointed out to me, actually, that watching down under will be a certain Andy Platt, who's made his home now in New Zealand, and he is watching as Doug Lawton, the Leeds coach, makes his way to the dugout here at Central Park. Andy Platt, the former Wigan prop forward, a man of steel, of course, in the past. He's watching as this telecast is beamed live to New Zealand, and Andy Platt knows it's business as usual here at Central Park, despite the fact that he is over 12,000 miles away. Harvey Howard has returned to the fray for Leeds, and it's Craig Innes who has gone off, and that's a big blow for Leeds. He took a couple of heavy knocks in the first half, did Innes, and Harvey Howard comes back to lend his considerable weight to proceedings. Of course, Harvey Howard, a former back in his Widnes days and in his days in rugby union with Waterloo. So the second half of this top of the table Stones Bitter Championship match at Central Park. It's Wigan ahead by 14 points to nil against Leeds. The 2 biggest names in the game, and a big mistake early on from one of the biggest players.
Unbelievable that. 2 of them went straight between their legs.
Let's see the length that Farrell gets on this drop out. Look at this. 10 metres inside the Leeds half of the field. It's being run back by Holroyd. Let's get news of Craig Innes' injury from Bill.
Craig Innes won't be starting this second half because he's got broken ribs, we understand from Doug Lawton, the Leeds coach. So Harvey Howard is back on the pitch, but that really is a big blow for Leeds, losing Innes. But a big blow for Wigan as well, because Kelvin Skerritt, we understand, is on his way to Wigan Hospital, having spent a lot of the summer there, recovering from the broken jaw he sustained at the end of last season. He's understood to have broken a bone high up on his cheekbone near his eye socket. Really is bad luck on Skerritt.
Bad luck for Skerritt, bad luck for Wigan, and who knows, bad luck for Great Britain. Big injury news here then from Central Park tonight. Skerritt on his way to hospital, Innes with cracked ribs. Repercussions later in the season, perhaps. Meanwhile, this game goes on apace with Holroyd. A high-hanging kick. It bounces kindly for Leeds. And have they got in with Mercer? He has! The ball bounced and Wigan waited. And Gary Mercer pounced on that mistake. Just what Leeds wanted.
They've fallen asleep, Wigan. They fell asleep at the kick-off and they did it again here. It was a wonderful kick from Holroyd. 3 Wigan players, obviously no one called. And what on earth was Paul Aitchison thinking of? He missed it. Complete air swipe. That won't get his handicap down, this one. Look at this. Missed it completely. Mercer in. That is a fine try. Just what the doctor ordered.
Gary Mercer switched out to the wing by Doug Lawton, and of course he has played there at test level, but what a mistake by Paul Aitchison. A real air shot, and Holroyd from the correct side of the field for the left-footed kicker, and what would he give for this one to sail over? He's got chances, he's kicked it, Leeds are in the hunt. We said they had to score first. Score first they have.
Wigan was there, Aitchison should have called for it. Obviously he didn't because it just bounced. They both peeled away. Poor old Aitchison missed it. Mercer didn't. It's what they needed. It was a great kick from the youngster Holroyd.
So Leeds with the tonic that they needed. The opening 3 minutes of this second half. Wigan now just 8 points away. And that will surely do their confidence a power of good. It's Gary Rose who's in possession for Leeds. Missed Wembley against Wigan with a broken arm. This is his first game back in the big league. Harmon. He made it to Wembley despite the fact that he had the broken thumb. On tap. Harvey Howard releases the ball in the tackle. It was risky business and Ellery Hanley picked it up. The ball went backwards. Russell Smith's decision. Last tackle here for Leeds. It's with Holroyd. Kicks downfield. Good kick too. Now Leeds must chase down and cut Robinson off early. And that's what they've done.
Good kick and chase. They really are firing now, Leeds. The lift that they needed.
Hall is the dummy half. He finds Farrell. Schofield is trying to bring Farrell down. It wasn't a job to be done single-handedly. And Iro was there. And Iro's there again, working hard from the marking position. Oh, mistake almost from McDermott. He got away with it. Good run from the big fellow. He's got Hall steaming up in support. Iro's after him, and Iro brings Hall down.
You can see the hooker make the break. There was no way in the world he was looking for support. He knew he was going to go to ground with it. Take the play, the ball.
Paul dabs one into the corner. Invitation for a fire, but it just rolled too quickly into touch.
Good thinking by the New Zealander Henry Paul, but not even Martin O'Fire could get to that one.
Classy player though, isn't he, Henry Paul? Juni Kiwi Tour captain. He's got 4 years at Central Park. It was Henry Paul who actually signed for Wigan in the deal that took Andy Platt to New Zealand. They've not made a bad swap. George Mann, under pressure from Twiggamala, gets away from him first time. Cassidy helps out. Gary Rose gets the ball away, on tack, keeps the movement going to Hanley. He keeps the movement going to Schofield. Leeds taking chances in their own half, but it's coming off. The passes at the moment sticking where they didn't stick in the first. Iro. Cassidy all round him. Cassidy a sub tonight, called into the 25-man Great Britain squad. Onta to Hanley, the Great Britain coach. Wrapped up by McDermott, gets the ball away though to Schofield. Brilliant tackle from Connolly.
It had to be as well. Leeds had it wide outside. They had the overlap.
Here's Robinson who will run the ball back. He finds Aitchison. Aitchison wanted to make amends for that mistake, but well played by Mercer. O'Fire the dummy half. Robinson. Henry Paul. Hall the dummy half on halfway. Cassidy.
Much better defence from Leeds. They're moving up. They've got to try to force the error on Wigan.
Farrell.
Little swinging arm from Gary Rose.
This is Betts. Missed by Familo, but not missed by the next couple. And Ayres and McDermott getting involved. I think this will be penalty. Oh, it's a penalty, Wigan.
Little doubt. There you can see Richard Ayres came pretty late. The tackle had already been made. Picks him up and throws him to the ground. No good looking at the referee. No sympathy coming from Russell Smith. This is just what Wigan needed. They were rattled a bit. The restart of the second half.
Yes, the first impression was that it was a penalty going Leeds' way for a touch of facials, but it was picked up by the guru on my right. And so from 30 metres out, Henry Paul bang in front. Not a problem, that's 2 from 6. With a glance over the shoulder, and it's 16-6.
Guru? Is that an insult?
That's a compliment.
I'll accept.
Leeds making a change, Bill.
Alan Tate went off just before half-time, a blood bin case that was, and he's come back on. Gary Rose has come off. Tate has got a second set of stitches in his head now. He picked up one set when he collided with a wall at Doncaster last weekend. He's done exactly the same thing here tonight, hit the wall again. He's got another set of stitches in his head. Who are the toughest men around?
Absolutely. This is a rough, tough, big man's game, there's no doubt about that, and Tate returns from the blood bin again, and it's hardly surprising that the head is now cradled in headgear. Connolly will run this one, and Connolly picks up pace. A scorching attack from Connolly. A fire is there. Oh, fire wanted it. Connolly's going to go all the way, is he? The ball tipped back inside. Wigan try and keep the movement going. Leeds are stretched in defence. Wigan will attack down the right-hand side with Aitchison. Aitchison to Cassidy. Leeds have marshalled their resources now. Aitchison dropped it. That's a knock-on. And Wigan blew one in the corner because Connolly should have passed it inside to a Fire who was on the hat-trick.
Little doubt. The break from Connolly. It was Iro that missed the tackle. And that was where the pass should have gone. You could see a Fire had come back on the inside at the right moment. Connolly thought he had the pace. He didn't.
Well, Connolly, who has not scored so far this season, thought then that the moment had arrived. A Fire is convinced it was the moment for his hat-trick. But the referee and touch judge have had a chat, and the referee is taking us back to the other side of the field, and in a moment we'll get the decision. Conversation, touch judge and referee. This is what happened, and it's a penalty, Wigan. Well, that's a mystery, but there it is. It's for a tackle, I think, on a Fire after the ball had gone.
Fire gets away. Well, it was only a shoulder charge in my book. That looked pretty fair. Well, Wigan, Lady Luck shining.
Ellery Hanley, the Leeds captain, won't be happy, but he will be happy if Leeds can hold out against this sustained Wigan pressure. Here's Connolly, steps inside Hanley, ball down again just short of the line. These are desperate moments for Leeds. The match could turn here in the next few seconds. Twiggamala trying to burrow his way towards the line. Leeds in desperate to keep him out. Twiggamala desperate to get there. Oh! Such strength from Twiggamala. And he hangs on to that ball. Hall the dummy half, right under the sticks. Edwards, ball out wide. McDermott try. His second try for Wigan since his move from Oldham.
Suck him in, throw him out, never any doubt. Beautiful pass from Clark. The substitute McDermott in. The Leeds defence were all sucked in there. You can see them, 3 attending to 1. The strength of Twiggamala. He looked like he was digging the channel. And then a quick play of the ball. Edwards, who else? Clark, the pass. Defence splits, result 4 points.
Barry McDermott, the new hero on the terraces here at Central Park. £40,000 worth of talent. Here's more talent in the shape of Henry Paul, who's starting to kick goals like Botica. 22-6.
You have 4 Leeds players in a very short defence. Result, gap. the pass, the try, easy.
Barry McDermott delighted with that second try in his new Wigan colours. Farrell will run the ball out. My word, Tate felt that, as did 17-year-old Francis Cummins. But Steve-O, that perhaps the moment when this match, as we will find out in the next half hour or so, when this match was won.
Well, the defence let them down. It's all about the mistakes. We keep saying it, don't we? But it was Iro that missed a tackle deep inside the Wigan half. Connolly makes the break. They get to the position. They just crucify defences that way.
Here's Robinson for Wigan, taking the champions up to the halfway line. Edwards clips one diagonally across the field. Mercer has to cut in from his wing position now to collect behind his own try line. Oh, crunch time from Betts. What?
Come to daddy, the defence. Boy, Wigan are firing.
They are running hot. Ontat didn't like it, and the referee didn't like the challenge.
McDermott with the elbow. Betts went through. McDermott comes in here late. Flop, elbow. Well, it's amazing, isn't it? We saw Kevin Iro go in.
The boy is speechless alongside me. Leeds will restart. Leeds need something quickly here, just as they did at the start of this second half. Schofield cannot provide it this time.
Well, Leeds still persisting with using Ontar in the dummy half position. To me, that nullifies any chance that Leeds are getting the ball out wide with the link with Schofield and Ontar. They haven't changed it yet.
Ontar, oh, he thought about finding the long pass to Schofield, but he saw that Phil Clark was hurtling towards Schofield to cut that option down. Holroyd from halfway dabs it towards the corner. Robinson doesn't want to let it run out, and that's good to see. Oh, the man has got some talent, and that's a great tackle though from Tate on him.
99 wingers out of 100 would have let that ball go into touch. Not Jason Robinson. The crowd love it. He wanted to get on with the game. Look at this. Most wingers would have said, let's have the scrum. Not this guy. Well done, young Jason Robinson. Excitement personified.
And the gamble came off because Wigan got the penalty for interference at the play the ball, and so here they come again. A little bit like a red tide rushing downstream at this Leeds defence. 11-7 to Wigan in the penalty count, 22-6 to them on the scoreboard. Phil Clark just going without the feet then. Hall to Edwards. Danger every time Edwards gets it. Danger every time Connolly gets it. Straightens up. He's wrestled to the floor.
Pretty hard to stop an attack like that when you got big fellas Andrew Farrell running out wide in the centres.
Clark! It most certainly was. Harvey Howard.
This will be interesting, won't it? The forearm straight above the shoulder. The big prop forward, Harvey Howard, already had a little lecture from Russell Smith. What's going to happen now?
Phil Clark nods and says, yeah, I'm all right. But he nearly wasn't.
Look at that. He cooked it back like a Colt 45 and wham. Well, how many cautions do you have to get? There was little doubt. You could see. Cock it back and fired it.
Lucky Harvey Howard.
That could put out a star player.
And all that Wigan have is the penalty. Phil Clark, no damage done, thankfully. But Steve-O,
I reckon the marbles will be rolling round in his head. I don't mind when someone steps inside, but you could see quite clearly. Cocked it back and wham! What does a referee have to do? What does he have to see? This is a game of skill. It's not rugby league.
Henry Paul with the penalty. Another 2 for Wigan. 24-6. I was about to say before that Harvey Howard incident, as Leeds trudged their way to the halfway line, I was about to say, Steve-O, that Wigan, in this form and in this mood, look, well, even more menacing than they did last season.
They're just like the machine that we've seen for so many years, aren't they? But even better. Put the knocker on that. That'll be the knock-on. Well, that's a second mistake, Andy Farrell. That's a little one, that'll do. Touch of the fingers. He's not happy.
Leads them with the head and feet at this scrum. On tap. Finds Schofield. Time for a bit of Schofield magic, perhaps not with Aitchison around. On tap again. Ball to Mann. 20 minutes to go. Leeds need a try. Schofield almost spills it. He's looked out of sorts.
Did well to hold it.
But the momentum gone for the time being. Harmon. Wigan just will not let them through. Schofield. Oh, Holroyd's got it now.
It's all about forced errors. Taking your eyes off the football. Happens at all levels. A simple, basic error. It's been a nightmare for Leeds. Wigan, they went through the horrors in the first half, but they haven't after the break.
A quarter of this match to go, and Wigan ahead 24-6 in possession here with Aitchison. Holroyd, Schofield, Hanley combining to bring him down. Paul at dummy half. This is Inga the winger. We'll have to find a new nickname for him now that he's in the centre.
Doesn't rhyme.
Cassidy. Hall, over halfway again.
Good run from Martin Hall there. That shows you the experience. Leeds slow to get back in the defence, run from dummy half.
They're loading it out wide again. Betts, ball to Connolly, inside to Farrell. Farrell on one of those marauding runs of his. Just hauled down, desperate defence. Wigan enjoying better possession second half, and now get another penalty. Another professional foul by the consummate professional.
Look at the strength there. He just pushed off Harvey Howard as though he wasn't there. Little doubt. Over the top. This is the break. Edwards hasn't had much running to do tonight. Doesn't need it, does it? Look at the forwards queuing up out wide. Fingertip control from Connolly. And here's the big fella. Boom! Get out of my way. What a great football player.
Come on, he says. Ellery Hanley, Leeds captain, Great Britain coach, urging his men for a big effort in the last 17 and a half minutes here. But it looks like from this range and that angle that there'll be another 2 points added to the Wigan total here. And there is. 26 points to 6. Doug Lawton. Leeds coach, promised Wigan a tough battle. A tough battle it has been. A battle that it looks like Leeds will lose. Will they lose the war in this Stonesborough Championship? Will it be Wigan's turn again? On this evidence, it will take a mighty team to stop the champions going back here to Central Park.
Long way to go, Eddie, but you're right. They are really on song, aren't they? And it's going to be a hard job for Russell Smith here. They're getting a little bit frustrated, our Leeds.
Steve, I know it is early days, but this Wigan side, it's playing with a vim and a vigour, an enthusiasm. They're playing it almost, I mean, it's a rough, tough game as we've seen, and there's been some fierce challenges, but they are playing with almost with a smile on their face.
Sure are. Basically, what they're doing is they're sharing the work.
Betts through another challenge. They are up in support. Connolly's there. Connolly try. Wigan are cutting loose. His first for Wigan this season. An easy, easy chant the Wigan supporters.
You just get sick and tired of it, don't you? Look at the step there. Not the best attempt from Patrick Ontar. Half-hearted. Look at the man there. They're queuing up out wide. Take your pick. Sean Edwards, as ever, points the traffic. But when you stand off like that, that was not a very good attempt. Dennis Betts in full flight does the right thing. There was little that Graham Holroyd could do, and Connolly comes up with a four.
Gary Connolly, full back at the end of last season, now linking so well with the Fire, creating tries for his winger and scoring tries. Henry Paul, conversion attempt. Two more to the Wigan total. They're running away with it now.
This is what's happened when you hang back. Three Leeds defenders are looking at one man. Once you miss the tackle, they're just stood there. I'm afraid they are a shattered team. Demoralised. Look at Betts. Beautiful control, support play. Great try.
Leeds restart then. They have 14 long minutes ahead of them.
Well, surely Leeds have got to get a little bit of self-respect. They can't afford to throw the towel in. Remember, Leeds is studded with stars.
Oh, McDermott, what a run from him. Brushed Onta out of the way. I don't know what it is about them when they come to this club, Steve-O, but McDermott, as we just noted, another Leeds substitution, Rose's return. McDermott last season was a good professional, but my word, he's come on leaps and bounds here already, as has Aitchison.
Well, I'll give the analogy. If you put me with a lot of handsome men, even I'd look handsome.
I don't think we could stretch the point that far. But here's Hall. Oh, the ball's sticking like glue. Except then.
Good run from Gary Rose. He's not giving in. But they are just devastating Wigan now. Sean Edwards knows he doesn't have to run. He's just controlling it, getting the ball, swinging out wide. The forwards are queuing up.
Leeds are running into each other now. Here's Alan Tate. Leeds will be disappointed with this. They were so looking forward to rising to the occasion here at Central Park. Oh, swinging arm from Connolly as Richie Ayres went down.
Looking to get away with that. That was real intent behind it.
Aitchison collects on the full. Onta starting to miss a few tackles, but recovered well.
He's not on his own. What a great night the fullback Aitchison has had. Chimed in from the fullback perfectly.
on Sunday. Castleford, who have a 100% record, take on Sheffield Eagles. And don't forget all the highlights from the rest of the matches in the First Division. Robinson on his way, finds Edwards, and Edwards, will he nod to the crowd this time? Yes!
He's thrown a triple! Not a one, not a two, but he's done the triple! I'm ecstatic. So's the crowd, and why not? Once again, they see that the blind side is weak. Poor Francis Cummins was sucked inside. Robinson, no greed there, and the man that seems to run down the middle of the field all day, Shaun Edwards. The call from Clark, reading the game again, sucks the wingman in, determination, and then calm, cool. The support, as always, is superb. No wonder they're the world champions. They are playing world-class rugby league football.
Champagne stuff from Wigan. Another 2 to Henry Paul. Another 2 to the Wigan total. 38 points to 6. It's becoming an annihilation.
There you could see Clark, it picked that they were shallow on the blind side. There's speed aplenty. Calm pass inside. Support.
6 tries for Wigan. They've been averaging 8 a game. There's still time for more to come. Over 10 minutes plus stoppages. This is a frightening result for the Stones Bidder Championship First Division chasers. Bradford Northern looked the part. Leeds looked the part before tonight. Castleford will take them all the way, but Wigan remain the team to beat. And it's Wigan-Castleford that will be on your screens here on the big league in just a couple of weeks' time at Weldon Road.
What a superb weighted kick from Shaun Edwards. Right into the corner. Graham Holroyd knew there'd be plenty of chasers, and there were. Controlled everything as Edwards tonight.
Hanley with a good run. Oh, Dennis Betts just hung on to his shorts and hauled him down, and then got him second and third time and conceded the penalty.
Giving the side time to get back in defence. Penalty again. The game's lost, I'm afraid. Poor consolation for this Leeds outfit.
Steve-O, people say it's monotonous to see Wigan winning week after week after week. But let's not be a part and parcel of the Poppy syndrome. This is a tremendous team.
They purchase well. When the time comes for a player to go, it's usually when he's in his twilight of his career. They'll allow him to go, and who do they get? They bring in a youngster. This team is full of youngsters. Trying to keep the ball alive, Iro, not the best pass. There's little that Mercer could do on that occasion. But they just share the work. Fullback runs into the dummy half. No one takes a rest on this Wigan side.
Mistake from Robinson.
Clark not happy.
They're human after all.
Bit high from Phil Clark.
Overwhelming second half possession statistic in Wigan's favour. 6 tries to 1, the margin so far.
Well, can Leeds get some consolation?
Well, they need to finish strongly, don't they, to carry the battle on, to carry themselves through for the remainder of the season up to Christmas, because if Wigan get a lead up to Christmas, Steve-O, they'll be unstoppable.
Well, as I say, we've still got a long way to go. But it's been a great job that they've done on Kevin Iro. Craig Innes, of course, not out there now. But Iro has been the man that's got them out of the mire so far this season. But Wigan haven't just steamrolled them. They've done the tactics well, run out wide, and I'm afraid the Leeds defence has been wanting on several occasions, and add to that their mistake error in their own quarter, and you're looking at a defeat well and truly.
Yes, it's ominous that Wigan are in this mood so early. They are allegedly slow starters. Lord help us all when they find a bit of second wind. A fire. Oh, he was tracked down well by Schofield then.
Great last gasp tackle from Schofield, but once again Leeds paying the penalty of forcing the pass. Can't really blame them. They know that this game's gone well and truly.
Yes, it's pride that's carrying them on now. And yet Wigan have made 11 handling errors to Leeds 8.
They've had all the ball.
I was going to say they've seen a bit more of the possession, haven't they? McDermott. Hall to Edwards. Time for a breather, he says.
What a professional. Love him or hate him, he is a world-class star. A key link in the Great Britain attempt to drag back the Ashes from Australia.
Substitution happening. Let's hear from Bill.
Gary Connolly coming off to rousing applause after an outstanding game, of course. He's been replaced by Terry O'Connor, and that means a vacancy in the centres, and that's likely to be filled by Dennis Betts. It just shows the versatility of the man.
That's an unusual one. Feet across at the scrum. Deary me. Ontar probably forgot to put it behind the loose forward's feet.
And is George Mann still packing down as the hooker? I think he probably was.
They've never allowed Schofield any room to move, have they? They've squashed nearly everything that Leeds has done. Defence, they're just like Centurion tanks, aren't they? Solid in all departments.
Howard trying to keep things going to the end. This fellow won't throw the towel in, not here. But Wigan have done a job on him too, haven't they?
The big problem for Leeds and their coach Doug Lawton, of course, is that what demoralising effect this loss could do to them. You really thought that this was going to be the night that they'd get Wigan on the hop.
Good defence from Aitchison, good chase from Richie Ayres.
Any youngster watching that, you could see how the fullback put his body on the line, made sure that if the ball was slipped free, it would go backwards. Is that a good game?
And he was thought to be the man most under threat from the arrival of Henry Paul. Of course, Frano Bottica's injury gave him a new lease of life. Next Friday we'll see Bradford Northern, league leaders before tonight at Featherstone. That will be another collision. Peter Fox, Derek Fox returning to their former club. Interesting, so too Paul Newlove, of course. Whoa, that's got to be a knock-on.
Sure.
No, it's play on. Last tackle. That's going to be 6 to go. No, it isn't. It's going to find touch instead. I think Alan Tate saying, wasn't that a knock-on?
Even so, I can't understand why Tate would have kicked there. Wigan running out there 6. This will be a head and feed now to Wigan.
We have the grand final coming up for you in a couple of weeks' time on Sunday the 25th of September, 5 a.m. in the morning. We're live and exclusive with that. It's going to be a very busy day for us, because then we're going to bring you the big league later on that evening, as per normal. Set your alarm, Steve-O. 5 a.m, 25th September.
No point going to bed.
Will it be Canberra against Brisbane? That's the big question. A lot of football still to be played down under. A lot of football still to be played up here. But Wigan are in the mood to defend this championship all the way.
Been a very impressive performance by the Wigan forwards. I know the entire team has really got it to grips, but the way that this Wigan pack, they run the angles, bringing in people back on the inside like that.
I mean, they're playing now with the pressure off, aren't they? The win is secure, but to be fair, they've been playing like this for much of this match.
The impact of the tackle there, the elbow. Cassidy couldn't do anything about that. It was a good tackle by Hanley. They've just had nowhere to go, have they, Leeds?
Big crowd at Central Park to watch this. A lot of them have made the journey across the Pennines too from Headingley. And they will not be too impressed with what they have seen. But Wigan tonight, Steve, would have beaten anyone in this form. And I include anything they would offer from down under too.
I'd have to agree with you. They've been demoralised of Leeds.
George Mann trying to get the ball away. That will be a knock-on against Afire. Afire thinks he's on for the hat-trick.
George Mann trying to get the ball away. You can see Afire's left arm, the fingertips to it. Looking for the hat-trick, which perhaps should have come a little bit earlier when Connolly made that break. Positioned himself well to Afire, didn't get the pass.
When you think about it, Leeds must be sick of the sight of Martin Afire. Maybe most of the other First Division defences are likewise.
Well, I thought there was a big problem with Twigamala perhaps in defensive quality with the way that Kevin Iro has been playing.
Well, that was a flop from Howard. Silly play from the big prop forward.
Well, how late is this? Getting back to that Twigamala situation, it's been Iro that's really been taken under control. That was a big hit there by Gary Rose too.
On Mick Cassidy.
It was fair though.
McDermott, they play the ball quickly and too quickly. Edwards drops it.
Wasn't the best pass. Edwards takes his eyes off the football. Forcing the pace, and at 38-6, why not? Crowd wanting more in the last seconds.
Yes, in time added on now for stoppages. Remember, there's been quite a bit of that. A bruising encounter this. Kelvin Skerrett with that eye problem on his way to hospital. And Craig Innes with broken ribs. So there will be players out here who will certainly feel their bumps and bruises too tonight. Soccer skills from Robinson, clattered by Henry. Schofield. Referee will play first knock on.
Great soccer skills there from Robinson. Interesting to see who he deems had the first knock on. Should be a Leeds feed in my book, it is.
Here's Holroyd, out wide. Mercer, tackled by Afire. 38-6. Almost 2 minutes of stoppage time. Wigan's motto remains that they shall not pass, or will they? Come in screaming for the ball out wide from Mann. He steps away from the challenge of Twigamala. Still going Mann. Support arrives from Tate. Tate trying to take Robinson on the outside. Cummins, but it's forward pass. It's not Leeds' night. It's not Alan Tate's night.
Did well Alan Tate there to get the ball back on the inside. But you can see the high shot clearly indicating it was forward. Cummins did well to come back on the inside. A gallant effort from Alan Tate. 2 bad knocks, successive weeks.
Aitchison for Wigan. It's Wigan back to the top of the Stonesborough Championship table tonight then. Their 100% record is intact. Will Castleford maintained their 100% record on Sunday against Sheffield. You can see that match, remember, on Sky. And Bradford, they still have 100% record too to defend. Coaches all around the country will be watching this and hoping to find a chink in that Wigan armour. But it's been a pretty impressive demolition of Leeds. Hall dabs it across to a fire. Mercer's after it. Mercer misses it. The ball went backwards. It's play on. Oh, Mercer throws it to no one.
Well, he did everything right and then undone it.
There's the siren. Leeds agony is all over. Wigan go back to the top of the table tonight. Martin Hall has played his full part in this win. It has been an excellent display from Wigan. Martin Afire, 2 tries tonight, 9 for the season. Twigamala did well, didn't he, as a centre. Inga the winger, we must find a new nickname for him now that he's wearing 3. Afire, so close to a hat-trick. Edwards the magician. And Edwards, the try-scorer supreme. Wigan 38, Leeds 6. Oh, Wigan top of the table tonight. Yes, they are.